Hello and welcome to another episode of Two Gays Watch Drag Race. I'm Zacary and Arron.
And I'm Aaron Holman. Today, we're recapping RuPaul's Drag Race Season 13, Episode 6, Discomentary.
But before we dive into the episode, we like to take a second to check in with each other. As we all know, contestants on RuPaul's Drag Race are ranked every week as being either in the top, safe, or in the bottom. Now, Aaron, emotionally this week, were you in the top? Were you safe? Or were you a bottom bitch?
I'm gonna keep it pretty simple, keep it cute, on mute for the kids out there, but I was in the bottom this week. Even though, I was just a big old bottom. We had to get those waters 100% clear.
Need some Heidi hydrates.
Yeah, some Heidi hydrates. No, the big highlight of the week was I started counseling therapy for myself again. And it, I had a wonderful first session and I can't wait to do that again. The rest of the week was a little bit of a wash. I did fall under the weather quite bad, but I'm back and skinnier than ever, I guess.
Skinny legend. That's like the only silver lining of having a stomach sickness is you're always like, well, I mean, at least I lost.
I mean, I guess it's time to take a selfie. Zach,
I think I
how
already
are
did.
you feeling this week?
How am I feeling? I would say a save. I won't put myself in the bottom. I respect you. No, I was in the bottom. I think you know what it is. Come on, gay singles. And I fall for this every fucking year, but every time it's right before Valentine's Day. The Valentine's Day saddies come in, and I always want to be like, who fucking cares? It's Valentine's Day. It doesn't matter, especially in COVID times. Does it really matter? I am safe. I'm safe. I'm fine, but solid safe.
I wish we could say that for Miss Tamisha Iman. But we're going to get to that, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, God. Well, yeah, so we are covering Discomentary. There wasn't a ton of stuff to talk about at the top, but there was the aftermath of the whole Tamisha Candy fight, which
this is something I'm hearing a little bit about online.
Yes.
Is Candy Muse, and this is just an opinion I'm asking for, Candy Muse producing drama to get more airtime? Do you feel that?
Well, I don't feel like, okay, here's the thing. Other contestants in the past, I'm not gonna name names because I don't want to start whatever. But there have been past contestants where I have felt like they were creating drama out of actually nothing for the cameras. I feel like all the drama that's happening with Candy is actually real. It doesn't feel fake to me. She is very much a reactionary. And she even stated that this week. And actually, you know what I loved about this episode is I feel like after the last episode, there was a lot of opinions from a lot of people that were fans of this TV show. And they, as we know, got very toxic and very inappropriate in some cases. And this episode, if I could just say one thing to the fans, the toxic fans of Drag Race, wait for the next episode to flip out, because think about this. How many times have you had a huge argument with someone, but then you make up a few days later and it's nothing ever happened? And this episode was so much about healing and understanding empathy. I would say the theme of this week's episode was empathy, and I just wish
100%.
fans would have more empathy for these queens. They're in a high, especially this season, a very high stress situation.
Yeah, they had to quarantine just to go to the show, let alone getting prepared in a pandemic for the show. All the resources limited. You can't run around having a million people help you get ready for this season, unlike any other, honestly. But I agree with what you're saying. This week, we got to have some real moments with the queens where they sort of revealed themselves a little bit more in the workroom. And I found it very humanizing and, like you said, empathetic for sure.
All that being said, the queens compete in a mini challenge where they must design a look out of different wallpapers. And the winning group is Tamisha Iman and Elliot with 2 T's. They end up winning a $2,500 gift certificate to Spoonflower. We also learned that the groupings from the mini challenge will be the same for the maxi challenge.
What did you think of the mini challenge?
Uh,
Wallpaper, and then it was like the person describing it, the Joan Rivers moment.
Yeah, it was fine. It was fine, I find it ironic that Tamisha and Elliot won because I guess the garment was okay, but Elliot's like, I guess it wasn't about the wig and the face, but she looked a mess.
Well, you know what was so funny about that look that they put on? It was the exact same silhouette that we've seen from Elliot the whole time. Definitely. It was an 80s inspired business sort of suit dress. And I was like, wow, did she bring that?
Did she bring that? Is that her decade?
Was that her Final Four dress? All right, and our maxi challenge is a dance rusical. It's not a rusical though. That's
it's weird. Yeah, I didn't know what to call it. I was like, I guess
the maxi challenge is a disco-mentary, which chronicles the era of disco. But
it's essentially a rusical, it's different.
But the reason that they didn't call it a rusical is because there was no expectation of lip syncing.
Sure.
They were told don't lip sync, and that's the difference.
And you know what? I refused to call it a disco-mentary, so I didn't know what to call it. So I called it a dance rusical.
Yeah.
How about dance review? I didn't write this shit. Gotta say. How about you tell about the groups and the themes?
So the groups and their themes are, we have Gottmik, Candy Muse, Tina Berner, aka the Mean Girls.
The Mean Girls.
And theirs is the birth of disco. Then we have Elliot with, oh God, I have a joke I want to say.
I know what you want to say. Don't say
Literally can't.
No, don't say
Yes.
I know.
Elliot with 2 T's and Tamisha Iman in Disco and Sex.
Yes.
Olivia Lux and Utica Queen in Studio 54, Denali and Rose yet again in disco fashion, Lala Ree and Simone in Disco Sucks.
Yeah. What did you think about the groups? I thought
I'm not surprised by any of them. They all look like pretty correct groups.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird. You think that they would want to break up the Mean Girls and it's just
I think that, like I said, I think that they're really trying to produce. How long has it been since we've had a group of people call themselves anything?
I don't even think they're really a group, because if you notice when they were the Mean Girls, let's put all our hands on it, you see Gottmik rolling their eyes at it, oh ha 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 ha,
I feel like it was probably prompted by producers that moment.
They probably said it offhand once at the mirror, hee hee hee. They were like, "That's funny. You should say that 10 more times. You should go to the confessional on
so
Saturday
we can record it and use one of them."
Exactly. Some of these groups, I liked Lala and Simone together. I thought that was gonna be fun. But Denali and Rose, I'm almost you're either setting them up to win without any trouble, or they're gonna be great because they're both dancers and they're not gonna win because it doesn't fit your narrative and it's gonna look like shenanigans. And that's honestly what kind of happened for me. I thought dance-wise they were one of the strongest.
Denali and Rose, it looks like they're pushing those 2 queens to be best of friends. And even last night, I was just on Instagram randomly, and Rose and Denali were live with one another. So obviously, the friendship there is very real.
That's sweet.
And I love me some dancing queens. Those 2.
Oh, I love a dance. I love a shablam.
Oh.
What did you think about this hula hoop ography that they gave Elliot and Tamisha?
I noticed very quickly that they were everyone gets a prop, and it further confused, in my mind, it further confused the challenge. And I know I wasn't the only person that whenever we got to it all, we're wait, and they're not lip syncing. This is all very confusing. I didn't like it, personally. Yeah. I was I don't besides the motion, would they really have had hula hoops at Studio 54?
Let me tell you, as someone who loves disco, like I was a weird kid and I loved disco when I was a child. Like, talk about an early sign of like me being very gay. I loved disco music, and I watched a lot of footage of dance in the disco era. Never saw any hula hoops. I'll say I saw fabric sometimes when they were like whipping the fabric around. Like, I did see that sometimes, but I didn't see no hula hoops. Okay, so we also find out about like Tamisha having an ostomy bag on her, which is like a huge like, oh holy shit, like, oh my
yet another point in the column of she's legendary. Rupaul would never do the show if he had an ostomy bag. And he sits down behind that desk and just judges, gets the makeup done.
Well, they say later, Rupaul says, I don't know, do we judge her the same way we're judging the other queens? And I said, no, you don't, actually. And I'm sorry, I know people say, no, that's not fair because you have to treat everyone the same. Like, okay, let's play that game. I didn't think she was bad in the challenge, to be totally honest with you. Like, was she off a couple of times? Like, okay, sure, I see what you're saying, but she like held it together, she performed the damn thing, and I think there were some other people that could have been in that bottom spot that were not Tamisha, and I don't know, it just feels like bullshit is what it feels like, honestly. With everything she's like,
it felt like they made the decision to get rid of her based on extenuating circumstances, you know. So it's crazy that RuPaul would even say something like, do we judge her the same, when it's like, you're already not judging her the same, you're just doing it in the wrong way. She literally wasn't asking for any sort of concession.
Well, we'll get into the rest of it later, but yeah, it's just like it. I didn't like they were going out of their way to be like, oops, she's weak. Look, she's weak. I'm like, fuck you. Oh my god. Like, good
she's
Lord.
Stronger than anyone who's ever been on the show. What do you think about Utica and Olivia matching up? I know a big thing that was talked about this week was Utica being outshined by Olivia. Do you agree?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this was a moment, like, I feel like this happens every season where there's a contestant that's sort of been flying under the radar, but then they just get a challenge that matches perfectly with their skill set, with like the drag they've brought for that challenge. And that was Olivia this week. She just had like, I think, the best look of any of the queens for the her performance.
She literally looked like she was in Studio 54.
I'm like, her dancing in the challenge is still, I think, one of my favorite things that I've seen on the season so far. As again, I'm a disco like nerd from way back, and she just looked like a superhero, like a disco superhero. And Utica, unfortunately,
looked like Florence and the Machine. She did.
Yeah.
She was having fun, but it wasn't disco, was it?
What were your thoughts on the performances in the challenge?
Let's see. You know, like, I'm gonna stick with some of my positives. I thought Denali and Rosé slayed it together. As always, those two are very well matched, and I liked them as a duo. Olivia Lux, what a firecracker. What a joy. And Elliot with 2 T's is wearing a wig by Tamisha Iman. So I just need to point that out. It's my favorite wig that I've seen Elliot wear. And I just need everyone to know that it was Tamisha's wig.
My God, yeah. Well, after the queens have danced their padded asses off, they head to the runway where the theme is Little Black Dress. Okay, so first up is Tina Berner. And let me tell you, I'm going to pause for a second. When she came out in this wet paint suit, I remember thinking, if that bitch has anything under that suit that is not a little black dress, I'm out. I'm done. I'm sorry. And I thought actually the joke was going to be that like she's making you think there's going to be like red and yellow and there's not going to be there. And then she had to fucking ruin the whole thing. I'm sorry. This was so stupid. And I'm so fucking, I know it's a brand and she came with a brand. Lord knows she is shoving that brand down our throats. But this goddamn combination of colors, I'm so done.
Well, this is another dress by Florence D. Lee on the stage yet again, but I don't love it. I just don't love it. It doesn't do it for me. Not for Little Black Dress. Next to the stage, we have Miss Candy Muse. Giving us her Comme des Garçons. And also, is it Princess Diana? The black dress is based off of one that Princess Diana wore. And then the Comme des Garçons look is very reminiscent of what Aja wore for the Gaga runway.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I liked Aja's much more. I don't dislike the look. I thought it was like a cute concept. I just didn't understand the paint around the face with the black smearedness and everything. Like,
it just goes with the fact that the dress is painted on her. I don't know.
Guess I think there is a way to do that, but it just whenever they would zoom in on her face, I would go, oh god. Like I
think despite the makeup around her face and on her neck, all of that, I actually thought her face looked pretty gorgeous.
I think her face looked like gorgeous. Proper. But then there'd be like black smudge around the edges. I don't think it elevated the look. I feel like it distracted me from the look. I don't know. Then we have Got Mick coming down the runway. And
when this first came out, it blew me away. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, I mean, well, it wasn't my favorite, but in terms of like what it's representing and what it means for Got Mick as an expression of like them, like I was like, okay, I love this. And this is, I think, very, not to like reference another cream, it is a very Aquaria type of runway. It's like taking,
but it also brought to mind to me Violet Chachki. Like, besides Violet and Aquaria, this is the most nude we've ever seen somebody on the runway. Would be this look right here.
It's very true and very brave. It's very brave.
And both of those two people are winners. No,
that you're not wrong.
You know,
you're not wrong. Then we have Elliot wearing something from the mall.
I wish they hadn't taken off the jacket. I'm gonna be honest. I wish that they had just sort of like hung it over themselves, because it would have made the whole outfit more interesting. Because the second they took it off, it's just too basic.
Can I also just be honest? Like, I'm sorry. Like, I keep waiting for her to not do the same damn thing, but every time she walks I'm not like coming for Elliot with TTs, but like I don't know. Like, every time she walks the runway, her face just looks dead to me. Like, I just don't get anything in the face. And she always walks the runway like she's like walking down the corridor of her house to like go out somewhere. Like, there's no like strut to it. It's just like it never feels like a performance, especially for someone being a dancer. I'm very surprised that she doesn't have more swagger in her runway. I don't think she serves the looks very well.
This is something that we brought up towards the beginning of reviewing this season, and it's like, what is your drag about, Elliot?
I'm like, I don't
because
get it.
Are you a dancing queen? If you were, we would expect more presentation.
Yeah, because most dancers are like really great on the runway because they know how to use their bodies to sell a garment.
Right. And so like that makes me go, well, I don't think necessarily then that you're really a dancing queen, even though you dance and buck.
Or it's like you can dance, but you're, I don't know.
It's not your identity.
No. Or, I don't know. I'm not seeing it on the runway.
She's fading for me. I'm not gonna lie. Up next in neoprene, we have Miss Tamisha Iman. I love it. It is safe. I'm not gonna lie, but just like all their other looks, I'm assuming that they made it.
Yeah, and it's gorge. I mean, it's simple, but it's gorge. I mean,
she said it herself. She said, "I wanted to wear a little black dress," and she did.
And like, unlike Elliot's look, which I think is also kind of simple, kind of whatever, this feels like distinctly Tamisha. Like, I very much like, oh, that's a Tamisha look. Like, I get it. I get the whole thing. It's also just a different style of drag. It's like an older style of drag that we don't see as much on the runway, but it's always gorgeous. Like, they always, look stunning. So
Olivia Lux coming out,
aka Beyonce in Gold Member. It's pretty much what I thought.
Good God Almighty, girl.
Yeah. What you think?
She looks like a sex kitten. She looks absolutely incredible. I did hear that this outfit wasn't completed, but they finished it.
Okay.
this outfit they had a different sort of vision for. I believe that what we're seeing on stage right now was supposed to be the structure underneath, and she was going to add another layer on over top, but that didn't end up happening, and so they altered the outfit by embellishing it down themselves right before the runway. And I think it looks great. I think it ends up, I don't know, it feels like we're watching her get ready. I don't know, it feels like a peek behind the curtain somehow, like it's naughty. I really, really love this look somehow.
Yeah, I also agree with what they said about she was smart to know that the hair was going to carry a lot of the look and not obsess over like, well, but I have to add more to the dress or else it's not going to be enough. It's like, no, you look great. Like, you look stunning. I love the like shimmer on the tights. Like, it's, and also I think for her, I'm sure she knew how well she did in the challenge. And so I think sometimes when you perform so, I think obviously the best in a challenge like that, you can sort of like, not that she's coasting, but you can like rely on your star power to just like sell your garment that week. Because I think she just had like a glow about her that we have not really seen for a couple of weeks. Like, I could just see her confidence like in the way that she presented the look.
Then we have Utica Queen coming out as her earrings.
Anyone missing an earring? Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry.
What? Tell me.
I am. Leave me alone. I mean, they pretty much said it. Like, it was a week of good critiques, I gotta say. Because I was kind of like, agreed with almost everything they said. Is it a cool concept? Yes, I suppose. Sure, great. But it's too niche. It's too specific. It's too. If she didn't explain it to me, I would have had no idea what was going on. Like, when they finally revealed, like, oh, it's her earrings, I was like, who the fuck is gonna notice that? Like, I thought it was an idea. I think it was a case of Utica obsessed with this idea, but not thinking about how it was actually going to translate on a runway. Like in a photograph, I think you can sell this better. There's a way to like do that with like lighting and how you edit it, how you like the, but for a runway look, I was kind of like, in terms of her, and I've loved Utica's runways this season so far. This one was just kind of like, okay, I don't know, it was fine.
See, me personally, I loved it. I understand the critique of you shouldn't have to explain the concept for us to get the concept. And then if you are looking at just the dress itself, it's not stunning, just the dress itself, which unfortunately was the assignment.
I think it's cute once I knew the concept. I was like, oh, that's quirky, that's weird. But it's what kept me from like loving it was just, yeah, the fact that it had to be explained a little bit.
And I think that's going to be ultimately the downfall of Utica. If she doesn't stop overthinking it. Then we have Denali to the stage, looking like she's standing in for Kiss of the Spider-Woman on Broadway.
Right. I love this.
What do you think?
Loved this. This might have been one of my favorites.
Me too.
When she takes off that hat, and then the eyes are on the forehead,
the prosthetics,
and the way it's all blended, and the contacts. I was just like, wow. And I gotta say, like I said, I've been kind of like hit or miss with her runways, but I thought this was great.
Yeah, what a concept. I really, really enjoyed it. One of my favorite looks of the night. And then right after we have Rosé. Do you want to start?
I'll start. I don't know. I don't understand why Rosé brought so many looks with this like tulle trim as like part of the, like, I mean, this is like the third look that she's done that's had this like similar concept. And I think it just makes her look like and I guess maybe this was the idea, like, see, it's a little black dress, but it's highlighted by this tulle. It just looks like a block of fabric on her. It just like, it looks like nothing. It's not flattering.
She looks like the wardrobe from Beauty and the Beast.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Like,
my god.
Look at her.
I can't. I don't like it.
I'm so sorry. I really enjoyed Rosé's performance this week.
Oh, I think this is what kept her from being in the top. Gotta be honest with you.
Also, why the gray wig? Why would you have matched the gray wig to the tulle, making herself look old? I just can't.
Yeah. Just no.
Oh my God. Okay.
Putting the little black dress. I love it. Okay, I'm sorry. Is this the most fashion? Maybe not. But Lala Ree in her little black dress. I thought this was so like, no, I kind of loved it. I love how slutty it is. And I know it's short. It's very short. But I love that she was like, oh, y'all want a little black dress? I'll show you a little black dress.
And it'll get littler the more I walk. The only part of it that I do not like is the shoulder pads look chunky. And for me, the shoulder pads either needed to be like a little more structured, a little more out.
Okay, yeah.
As opposed to that literally just looks like some foam kind of haphazardly put there. It's not a shape. It's not, I don't know. It's not making her thinner.
I love how you're looking at her shoulders. I was looking at those legs.
Everybody was.
Guess I just didn't notice the shoulders. I just love the way she sold it. It just I don't know. I love the sluttiness of it. I was into it.
It's pretty good.
And then we have Simone in. Oh wow! Come on, I can't. Where to even start with this? This look is. I love it. I love it so much. And then like she had that video where she went to a hair shop in the look. And when you can see this look in the light of day, it's even more impressive when you can see all the detail work on like the top and the bottom with the skirt. I already loved it. And then when I saw her, you can go to her Instagram and find it. It's amazing. I love it.
I don't know what she puts on her skin to make it look like that, but oh my God.
The reason I think she's gonna win is because even this week where she was like not the star of the challenge, she still managed to have like a star moment, which was her runway. Like she always walks down the runway like she's
this wig, this is the second time that we've seen a queen on the series reference this music video. This is from the music video Back to My Roots by Rupaul. And this
a really
is
good track, by the way.
A really good track.
I love that style she used to do in the early 90s. Yeah, it's really great, actually. You should listen to it, peeps.
The one other time that we've seen a queen wear a look from that music video, and it was Chad Michaels in the, Chad Michaels in the, oh my God, what was it? The presidential campaign where she came out with those buns on the hair. That's also from this music video, and that's a direct RuPaul look.
I like it a little more from Simone, gonna be honest.
Well, me too, but looking back on it, that's some balls on Chad Michaels, you know, like really, really a legendary queen. And I think Simone is cementing herself right up there with this. Gigi Good, again, crafts another beautiful wig that Simone is rocking.
Oh, did she make the wig?
Yes, and she also made the one for the promo.
Oh, I knew that, but I didn't know she made that one.
But yes, this is also a Gigi Good original.
Oh.
Gigi's really good at a wig.
Yeah, she's doing her sister proud. But yeah, she's just killing it. I still think she's like the one to beat because she's.
I do too.
So what was your favorite look of the runway?
My favorite look of the runway, I'm gonna say Olivia Lux, and Simone is a very close second.
Yeah,
I'm just obsessed with the hair. I don't think Olivia's ever looked better.
Mine, it's a toss-up between Denali and Simone. I'm only gonna give it to Simone because, not because I'm obsessed with Simone, but also because I already liked it a lot. But then when I saw, the video where I saw it in broad daylight and saw all the detail of it, I was like, that's insane. So I do give it to Simone. So ultimately, after the judging, Olivia Lux is announced as the winner, and Candy Muse is placed in the bottom two with Tamisha Iman. They lip sync for their lives the song Hit Me Up. Oh, Hit Me Up Style, which is it's a great song. It's a really good lip sync song. Now, what were your thoughts on the rankings? Oh, by the way, yeah, the ones who were safe: Denali, Gottmik, Lala Ree, Rose, and Simone. And the top was Elliot with 2 T's, Olivia Lux, and Tina Berner. In the bottom, Candy Muse, Tamisha Mon, and Utica was the other one in the bottom, but it was ultimately Tamisha and Candy. Do you agree with these rankings?
I think that Tamisha could have been replaced by Elliot.
But honestly, I would say if I was making these rankings, I could even replace Tamisha with maybe Gottmik. I know it doesn't match their narrative. But then I would have had Utica, and I think Utica and Candy were the 2 that should have been lip syncing. That's kind of where I was at. I don't know. What do you think of this lip sync?
I wish that they'd done a disco song. Like, that's my complete honest opinion. Mm-hmm. I love this song, but I was like, what are we doing this song right now?
No,
like,
I think for once I thought they gave a song that set up both queens to shine. Like, I do think that they set up both of them for a potential win, because I even think it was a very close lip sync. Like, I thought they both did very well.
You know, a lot of that emotion that Candy was putting into it, me thinks they were trying real hard because maybe some of the lyrics were a little muddy. There was plenty of times where we did not see Candy's lips.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Because she worked real hard for you not to notice that.
I think what sent her over the edge was just like, I thought she served the emotion of it well on her face. I thought that like the emotion of the song, I was into it.
I thought it was a weird ending. I thought it was a weird ending to the week.
Oh, for sure. I definitely think it was another thing of like, I thought about this because obviously production, and I'm not saying RuPaul knew this, but obviously production knew that Tamisha had like an ostomy bag and, you know, all this. And I wonder if maybe they decided to send her home because they didn't want to keep her around as a liability type thing, and seeing that she was like, I almost wonder if they wanted to send her home and let her rest. And first of all, she you know, literally is like, I'll be back for All Stars. I wonder if they just want to send her home to like not further potentially embarrass her by like not being like, she wasn't able to show herself at her full abilities because she wasn't even at her full abilities yet. And even RuPaul said a thing about, you know, she's still getting her sea legs back, and I wonder if she almost sent her home as almost respect, where it's like, it's not fair that you're representing yourself, even though it's like, fuck you, like she's working so hard, like you're gonna send her home. Maybe it was like, you know, let's send you home, rest up, we love you, you'll absolutely be invited back.
She said some of the things that were absolutely amazing. Like, she said something along the lines of like, Drag Race was like another stop in her legacy, you know? And she's like, and all of this has been my legacy. Her whole 30 plus year career led her to Drag Race today, and she was happy with all of it. You know, so just Drag Race, we don't deserve Tamisha Iman, but like, we got her anyways. That's how I feel.
And I was not obsessed because it was like a lot of emotion, but the moment where Tamisha's leaving the runway and Candy and her like hug, and Candy was
breaking down.
Oh, Candy, you could tell just was really heartbroken that happened, and I thought that showed a lot of respect for Tamisha.
Yes,
and I really liked. I love to see it. And they made up in Untucked. They talked about how, like, you know, they just had a fight. They said what they said. But
yeah, even how beautiful was it? I think the last thing Tamisha said to her was like, you keep on going. I'll see you on the road. Like, oh.
It's almost, I like that she'll be able to go home, like, keep recovering, keep getting stronger. And by the time they call her for an All-Star season, I think she'll be one to, like, beat. Like, I think it'll be like a yeah, this is like over, so like almost like a Shea Coulee thing where it's like, ooh, who wants to be the person that like beats Tamisha and Mott? She made an impact. Like she may be the third out, but I would say out of like queens that go out third, she like really put her stamp on this season.
Yeah, 100%. She
I think her presence will be missed.
Oh God, the show's gonna be totally different.
I think it's about to get rowdy up in there because now Mama's left and the kids are alone in the house, and so yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Now, before we say goodbye this week, we wanted to introduce a new closing segment to the show, one that we hope will add a touch of positivity to this Drag Race fandom that sometimes leans on the negative. Every week, we'll highlight someone from the episode as Queen of the Week. This could be the queen that won the challenge, or just someone that we want to lift up and celebrate. So, Arron, who would you say was your Queen of the Week?
Easy. It's Tamisha Iman.
Tamisha.
Yeah, hands down. She's my Queen of the Week. She stole my heart. Ultimate respect for that queen. What a real entertainer. I love her everything.
I'm going to be a little boring this week, and even though, of course, Tamisha, tip of the hat, we love Tamisha, I do just want to highlight Olivia Lux, because it felt like a real, like, Olivia Lux coming into her power moment.
That was my second.
It was really lovely to see. And as I said, I keep just replaying that her just dancing in that challenge, just like whipping her like fro around. It's been living in my brain rent free, as the children say, ever since. So I'm gonna give it to Olivia Lux. But of course, Tamisha Iman, we love you. You'll be back. She'll be back.
Like the Phoenix, she'll rise again.
There's no way they will not ask her back for. And it sounds like if they call her for All Stars, she'll be like, "Okay, sounds good. When do I go? She sounds ready.
I'm ready.
Yeah. Well, Arron, would you like to let all of our listeners know where they can find you on social media?
For sure. On Insta, on Twitter, I'm at AWholeHuman. You can follow me along at those platforms. I'm also on Clubhouse now as well, also at AWholeHuman. So get on there if you haven't. What a fun place to network.
And you can follow me at Zacary with no H on Instagram, Twitter, and also Clubhouse, but I don't understand Clubhouse yet, so I haven't used it much, but maybe I'll see some people on there.
I literally was talking with Adore Delano, Chris Crocker, and who was it? There was another queen, and I can't remember. Like, I was talking with all of them last night. Oh, Daniel Francesi was there. Where is he?
Get out. Oh my god. I would love to have him on the show. If we could get him for the show, I would love. Yeah, okay, anyway.
I mean, I'll try, Mama.
Girl. Well, bye.
Bye.
Well, thank you so much again for coming to the Two Gays Watch YouTube channel. Remember to like and subscribe, and you can follow us at Two Gays Watch on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And if you want to have an even gayer experience, you can head to our Patreon page, which is patreon.com/2gayswatch, where we have fun stuff for you guys to look at every single week, and we have even more fun stuff planned.